Hi everyone. Well, I got my Stamparatus this week and I wanted to do a quick little video demonstration for some of my customers who'd been asking about it. And I know there's a lot of videos out there, so I'm just going to do a really quick why I think it's a good idea video. I didn't have any of the previous versions. There's a few of these on the market and I never had any of those. I never thought I really needed a stamp positioner especially with the photopolymer stamps. However, I've also avoided certain stamps in stamp camps or classes just because of their layering nature, and I thought that this is really great for some of those stamps, and that's why I'm excited to use it. So I'm going to show it to you using a couple stamps that require a lot of layering. So the Stamparatus comes with two of these little plates that fit in the hinges. It comes with a foam mat that you use when you're using photopolymer stamps, and when you're using the red rubber stamps, you just use the straight-on bottom of the Stamparatus. I love the name Stamparatus, by the way. It seems like something that my family would have come up with. Okay, so I'm going to use photopolymer, so I'm putting the mat inside. Also on the underside are these really strong, and I'm not kidding when I say really strong, magnets. And I've kind of put these washi tape tabs. You can see that I picked them up with that because it just really helps when I'm picking them up to have something to hold on to. And so that's why they're wrapped in washi tape. And I did it on this one as well. And they're housed completely apart from each other because they really do attract. And they are rare earth magnets. They're very strong, but they're also, when they get together, they're really pretty impossible to pull apart, and when they're really together in that strong magnetic pull, they can also break. So anyway, that's why they're housed separately. And I think at stamp camps I might only put out one, just because I'm afraid, you know, when there's a lot going on at a table, that someone might put the two together. So that's one little word of warning. I'm going to start with just this little stamp card here. It's a very simple card, so we're just looking at how the Stamparatus works as opposed to an elaborate card design. This is the Lots of Lavender stamp set, which is a celebration stamp set, and it's very pretty. I love the layering and I love the watercolor look to it, as watercolor is one of my favorites. So I'm going to use this for my card, and I've cut a piece of cardstock in Whisper White by 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I like to tuck it in the corner just because I feel like that way I know where it is. And then I'm just going to use one magnet to kind of hold it down. I'm looking for a spot that doesn't have a stamp, so I don't want to put the magnet across here because, as you can see in my sample, the stamp goes pretty close to the top and pretty close to the bottom. So here's a good spot, or along this edge if you were going to use both magnets. So that's a pretty small piece of cardstock. So what I'm going to do is you take your stamp and you place it where you want it to lay on the cardstock. So I want it to lay right there. Okay, and then you come down with the lid and press, and it'll pick it up. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up with basic black. I move it into camera view here. Now I'm going to use this large ink pad, but if you have spots, it's even better. Spots often come with paper pumpkin kits, or you can get uninked spots in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, and they have no ink on them, and then you can use your re-inkers to make all the colors that you use the most. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. And then I'm just going to close and press. And lift. Now, as you can see, I didn't do a good job inking that up. Here's a suggestion that someone had, and that is, see how you just have a little bounce here? The stamp case fits nicely underneath, and that way you can press a little harder while inking up your Stamparatus, and then I'm going to go ahead and press again. And this time I got the entire image. So it's really cool. You can see it lined up perfectly. It would be really hard to do that, you know, on your own. And I was able to just re-ink it and put the ink down, and I didn't have to worry about, is it going to line up? It lined up perfectly. So then with your second little plate here, you can add some of your accents. So I'm going to add the background color. So you kind of place this where it goes. Now this stamp is meant to kind of hang over. It's not a perfect fit, so get it where it needs to be, and then close the pad or the little hinge, and it will pick it up. See? And now I'm going to put Wisteria Wonder on there. Now, when you use the big pads like I'm using, see how when I did this, I got ink on my little plate here? It's a good idea to have a little baby wipe or something, just because you don't want to get ink all over your pad. You don't want to get ink on that magnet, because who knows, your next project will then transfer some of that ink. So then you're just going to close and you're going to press. And there you go. Now look, I didn't press there. So I'm going to go and close it and press. And now it's inked there. And now I've got these leaves. But you think, oh, I don't have any more space. Well, take the hinge and flip it. And now I can add those leaves. And not only can I add them, but I can add them all at once. For example, this one goes down here. And this one goes here. And this one goes here. And make sure that tucks back in the corner. The photopolymer stamps are sticky, so it does sometimes lift up. And now I'm going to stamp all three at once. Oops, let me baby wipe. There we go. And now I just have one more, and luckily I have one more plate side. Little bow. So that's going to go right there. Ink that up. And there we go. I've got all my colors right on there. The only thing that's not on there is the thank you, and I can do that. I have a stamp that's not photopolymer for that one, because the Lots of Lavender doesn't come with a sentiment. Now I've decided that the black center, I noticed that my stamp is not super strong on the center here. I was so worried about pushing on the edges. So you say, oh, I've already done that. Well, if you push this back in the corner where it was, and I flip my plate again, and I ink my stamp again, I could stamp it one more time and push in the middle. There, and now it's dark and everything's still lined up all around. Cool? So you can fix any of your mistakes. Anyway, so this is how I did it, and then I just layered this card. Let's put this out of the way and then I'll clean it. So this is a card and envelope set from Celebration also, called Tutti Frutti Cards and Envelopes. So fun and so quick and easy to make a really pretty card. Already, the background's already designed for you. Just tilted this one slightly. added a little doily to one side. Oh, I forgot the thank you. So I'll add that. There we go. Normally I would never stamp after gluing things down, but I knew that would be okay. All right, and that is a really simple way to use the Stamparatus. I also used it for another stamp set that I think is kind of on the difficult side, Baby Bear. So Baby Bear is super sweet, and I bought it right away when it came out, but I used it a few times and just, I kind of always felt that it's adorable, but it's a lot of lining up to do, so I never used it for a stamp camp or a class or anything. And the Stamparatus really did make this easier for me. But let me show you how it makes it simple. So this is a piece of Whisper White cut 3.5 by 4, and I'm going to put it the long ways here. And this time I'm going to put the magnet towards the top because Baby Bear is long. So then I put there. I'm only using the one magnet. So Baby Bear has 3 images that you layer on top of each other to get that fun textured fur look. So I like to do the big bold image first. So you're going to place that where you want it. I'm going to bias it slightly to the right because I'm going to put some ribbon here. So I'm going to put this little Baby Bear. I could put the magnet on this side since I'm going to move Baby Bear to the... Okay, so I'm going to close my hinge. Now those photopolymers really do stick, which is why I like to have it tied up in the corner. So I know that if I put it back in the corner, I'll be good. And it's this one with the really heavy solid image that sticks the most. The one with the textured fur doesn't really stick that much. Now this time I happen to have a Sahara sand spot, which is really cool. I think it must have been in a paper pumpkin, or maybe it's really old from when we used to sell spots. So I'm going to use that. It's really easy on a Stamparatus to use these little spots. As you can see, I'm going to show you. You're not having to get ink all over. You can really get it right where you want it. So, like someone suggested, the stamp box is the perfect shape and size for putting underneath. It's like the exact size it was meant to be. And I'm going to ink up. Hopefully there's still some good ink on here. This is an old spot. Ink up Baby Bear. This is Sahara sand, I think I mentioned. And then I'm going to close and press. There we go. Now, see how it's kind of spotty? I think my ink, I might need to re-ink this spot. So maybe we'll do it again. Looks like I missed some areas in the tummy. Oh, and up by his ear. I got his ear. Okay, then you're going to line up the next image, which has a little more detail. Still not all the detail. And you're going to close and pick it up. See, it pulled out of the corner. I'm going to tuck it back in the corner. Maybe I would use 2 magnets on this one since it's such a sticky photopolymer. I'm inking it up again. Gotta remember, I'm just using this for the second day, so I keep forgetting to put that box underneath. Okay. Layer 2, see a little bit more detail on the bear, and then I'm going to take out the plate and add layer 3. Now those 2 layers I used Sahara sand. This layer is going to be soft suede. so many combinations with the bear. You never know exactly which is the great one. I like Sahara Sand and Soft Suede. Sometimes you can even stamp off in between layers, the two Sahara Sand layers, to get even more difference. I just went full strength layers, Sahara Sand on top of Sahara Sand. You could, like I said, stamp off and get. Yep, I knew I put that down before I fixed it. Okay. To line up Baby Bear, you kind of look at his little seat here and the little angles in his armpits and by his neck. Okay, ink it up. I have a Soft Suede ink spot. Also kind of old. Yesterday I made this with the big huge pads, and I just had like brown all the way around, so I looked through all my little spots and I was so happy to find these. So I think I'm going to buy some of those uninked spots and get a few of my favorite colors going that I don't have in Paper Pumpkin, although I think I've had Paper Pumpkin for 5 years now, so I think I have a lot of colors. Paper Pumpkin is celebrating 5 years actually this month, so if you sign up for it in March, there's going to be a free gift in the box, which is cool. You can check out the details on that at my blog, bethspapercuts.com. So here we go. Baby Bear always makes me nervous, I have to admit. Alright, Baby Bear. Okay, so there's my cute little bear, and I'm going to use some ribbon accessories to finish him off. Again, I'm going to use the Tutti Frutti note cards and envelopes from Celebration. I'm just loving these. I think they're just such a pretty pattern, and I love the envelopes. See how the inside has some little fun detail too. And those are available just during Celebration, which is ending this month, I'm sorry to say. So if you've been keeping your eye open on a few items, go ahead and grab those while you can, because they will be gone. Oh, I wanted some ribbon around this first. So I'm using this really fun ribbon. It's really a soft kind of cotton ribbon, and I think it's even called Classic Weave Ribbon. Yep, it's very classic. And I'm just going to tie a quick little bow. You know what, I think I'm going to do a faux bow. Did you ever do those? It's where it looks like you tied a bow all the way around, but really you didn't. You only went part way. Throw my doily on it while I'm at it. So the Stamparatus is coming out in the next catalog in June. And you can keep tabs on when it's coming and all the exciting news around it by checking my blog or my Facebook page, both under Beth's Paper Cuts. I love Facebook because you can chat pretty easily, and I can answer questions really fast if you go there. So join me at my Facebook page. I would appreciate that. That would be fun. Also, another great way to get the Stamparatus would be from yourself as a demonstrator, and this is a perfect time to join Stampin' Up. This is the last month for the special join deal where you get 2 additional stamp sets in your starter kit when you join. You get already the great deal of $125 worth of product for just $99 with free shipping. That alone is awesome. No obligation past that, by the way. You can quit right then. But don't, because the new catalog comes out in June, and you're going to want to see what's in it, and you're going to want to get a lot of things from it. And if you join now, when you get those things, you'll be buying them from yourself, and you'll be getting a discount. So that's my faux bow. I didn't tie it around. I just went like this, and then I'm going to stick this there. Oh, and I forgot to do Hello Baby. I keep forgetting my sentiments today. That's okay. The point of the video was the Stamparatus. I'll add that later. So I'm going to add a glue dot for my bow, and I'm actually going to put another glue dot underneath just to give it some stability. That ribbon tends to wobble. Sometimes I use a whole line of tear tape behind a ribbon too. That always was nice. So that is a sweet little baby card. I think so anyway. And I'm going to add a hello baby. I will add this to my card collection, so when I have a baby to give out, there is actually a baby coming soon at church, so I will have it ready, although I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. So if you don't know if it's a boy or a girl, try the yellow background with a green bow, and it can be for either one. But if it's a boy, I'm all set. Anyway, there's the Stamparatus, and I hope that you like it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Beth's Paper Cuts, Facebook or blog. And you can see my email there too if you want to email me. If you want to join Stampin' Up or you have any questions about joining, this is a great time to do it, and I'm happy to answer all your questions, and you can do that on Facebook or my blog or my email as well. And you can even check out my join video, which is here on the YouTube channel, and I also have a link to that at the top of my blog header too. Just click join video or join if you want to just go ahead and do it. And anyway, I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I just got the Stamparatus yesterday, so I'm kind of learning it as I go. And I think it really is fun for if you know, like the center didn't get enough ink on it, I was able to just go right back over top and add more dark ink to it. And I was able to stamp all my green just at one time. So this is going to make, when you're making multiples, maybe you're not a demonstrator, so maybe you don't have classes, so you don't care about that, but maybe you make cards for Christmas or craft fairs or things that you make multiples of. It's a really great tool for that. So I hope you liked it, and I hope you'll come back and check out future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.